In episode 7 of Witch Hat Atelier, we get a momentary glimpse of something that might seem trivial, but completely recontextualizes a character that a lot of people thought they disliked. And today, I want to talk about it. My name's Dom, and this is how one scene can completely change our mind on a character. It's easy to love Koko in Witch Hat Atelier. Almost immediately, it's hard not to root for her, to see yourself in her shoes, starting out some kind of creative or educational journey. She's an enthusiastic blank slate with a love for a world she's only just starting to dip her toes into. And we can easily apply that to our own lives, to our own journey, to learning art or sports or music or programming, literally anything. Koko's love of the journey, not the destination, is a joy to watch unfold. And so we can easily relate to her with how it felt starting out with the things that we love to do. And just as it feels riding that high of a character that's literally just like us, we're smacked right back down to earth with the introduction of Agott. Agott descending from the rafters of the atelier feels more like the introduction of an antagonist than a roommate, and Koko is met with the first real point of friction in her short journey thus far. Agott immediately dismisses her for being an outsider and not belonging to an atelier where witches had to rigorously study to gain entry. Her harsh, blunt demeanor kind of shakes Koko to the core, who already had the feeling she didn't belong, but now knows it. Agott forces Koko into the data range test, a trial she's sure Koko will fail, and that's it. Problem solved, outsider gone. Everything in the atelier can go back to normal. What she wasn't counting on was Koko being Koko. Koko passes the first trial, and Kiefer says the quiet part out loud, that Koko was already going to be an apprentice either way, proving herself didn't matter. Now, I don't blame you if you didn't like Agott at this point in the story. Think back to everything I said about Koko being an audience surrogate. Suddenly, Agott's firm rejection of Koko feels like a rejection of us. It's not just Koko who's an outsider to this world who doesn't belong here. It's you watching this, whatever stage you are in your own journey, just learning how to draw circles or play 3 chords on a guitar. Agott said what she said to Koko, but by proxy is saying it to you. Just give up. You didn't earn this, and you couldn't possibly compete with the people that have been dedicating their lives to it. Now, to me, Agott comes from the long lineage of deuteragonists that I can't help but love. The Sasuke to the Naruto, the Bakugo to Deku, you get the point, there's so many. I always love these rival type characters, and I'm always low-key waiting for the time when they come around, letting go of whatever walls they've put up and just officially becoming one of the good guys, one of the heroes. With episode 4 and 5's Dragon Fight, we get the first real encounter that the girls have to work through together, and we get a showcase of each girl's abilities and style. Riche's small, quick lines that come together as one fully formed spell. Tetia has spells that do exactly what a witch should be casting magic for, to bring happiness and comfort. And Koko has this unshakable optimism and a way of reframing every single problem thrown at her like philosophical improv. Yes, I see your dragon and raise you a dragon bed. And maybe the shocker here is Agott immediately complies with the girls and gets to work on a plan, which is new for these types of characters. Maybe you were expecting her to teleport home or push Koko into the mouth of a dragon and be done with it, but she stays. And more than stays, she kind of unofficially takes on the quarterback role and completely takes the lead on a new plan. And not in a spiteful your plan sucks way, but instead fully supporting the idea and trying to make it better. If you were expecting her to naysay Koko's optimism or think Tetia or Riche sucked because they aren't as technically proficient as her, you'd be wrong. And it's because of Agott's quick thinking and shonen rival battle IQ that the plan works. Well, at least until it doesn't, but that's another story. And these little moments of Agott, completely ready to be a team player, directly contrast what we've seen of her so far. She's been nothing but rude to Koko, to the other witches, hasn't she? In episodes 6 and 7, the most recent episodes to date, we get this mini-arc about Dagda and Kustis. Kustis still sounds so wrong to me. And this emergency at the riverbed where the girls will not only have to cast magic, but cast magic unseen by the commoners. Aside from Kiefer and Koko's hometown, this is the first time we've really seen this come up in the narrative. Of course, it's easy when you can just close a door and do your little spells in secret, but doing magic directly in front of outsiders, staring right at you, expecting something to help them, or even save their lives. It's a pressure unlike anything we've seen so far. And I'm sure the artists in here can relate to just not being able to draw a single thing if someone's staring over your shoulder. That's not just me, right? That's a lot to ask of somebody, especially when they need to draw something as intricate as these spells. But in these 2 episodes, we see something really cool happen. We see just how damn hard Agott is working, and not in a lame way like some rocky montage of her drawing seals over and over. We see directly that she practices all day. She turns down plans for her friends to practice her art. She gets aggravated and bothered and distracted by background noise. She spends late nights every night working on her craft. Suddenly, the ink-stained fingers doesn't seem like she was just bragging for the sake of it. The gulf of how seriously she takes this versus what an outsider could even comprehend is an ocean. Tangent. Raise your hand if you hate AI art. Okay, everyone's raised their hands, good, all my viewers are based and cool. Now I want you to pretend like they've solved the environmental impact and using it isn't just stealing from artists, just pretend like you hit a button and art comes out, right? Now, what's wrong with saying you're an artist if you use it? Well, the obvious answer is you didn't make anything yourself, you just generated something that you don't understand. You couldn't tell me the artistic choices you were trying to make because there weren't any. It was handed to you. And the second is that it was all done for you. You could never truly relate to the process of actually spending 2, 5, 10, 50, hundreds of hours making something. And are we starting to see now? Agott never hated Koko. In fact, I'd say there was some genuine sympathy there in the middle of a dismissal sandwich. But to Agott, this is just someone that traced a bunch of spells, accidentally did a forbidden magic, and is now somehow working the exact same job as you. For Koko to just waltz in and say, "Oh, hello, fellow witch of whom is exactly my peer and on my level," it's insulting. Koko didn't earn it, and the more we see of this world, the more we know that to be true. But the humanization of Agott comes with her quick realization that Koko is so much more than she thought. From the victory at the Dada range to her positivity in the face of danger to how hard she practices, Agott realizes she was wrong. This isn't someone just looking for an easy way to do things, someone looking to trace and steal and not earn her place. Koko's in it for the long haul. And it's subtle. The story doesn't need to spell it out for you, but her shift in demeanor is already so apparent if you're paying attention, which is just such great characterization. All that being said, the moment that really cements Agott's character for me in this episode is this. Agott, with all eyes on her to cast a spell, freezing up and having an actual panic attack, seemingly at the memories of all the things she's been told over the years. Show us your magic, Agott. Is this all you have? You're nothing compared to the others. You need to take drawing more seriously. You're average. No one would ever believe that you're her daughter. And then we see Agott as her child self, and a voice from off screen tells her this. Our family has no need with someone with no talent. You've disappointed me. I won't take you as an apprentice. Her own mother rejected her. And it all makes sense. This not just recontextualizes Agott's ceaseless practice, her desire to get things perfect, but also her own initial coldness towards those with less talent than she has. Innate talent has always been the measuring stick for her entire life, and this 60-second flashback is everything we need to realize that Agott is just a victim, a child parroting the callous words they've heard from their own parent. It's in the midst of these memories Agott is snapped out of it by a familiar voice. Koko. Even though Koko's fallen down the riverbank, she's still yapping with the exact same golden retriever, "How can I help you?" energy as always. And that grounds Agott into really hearing Orugio's words. If you want to be useful, think about what magic is for. Throughout this episode, Agott has been firmly against doing tasks she feels are beneath her. She doesn't want to dry off the outsiders with Orugio's dumb Dyson Airblade spell. She wants to do something flashy and awesome to prove herself. But in this moment, Agott realizes that what she needs to do is take a back seat, to not be above doing little tasks for something more prestigious, to let go of the need to prove herself, to relinquish control, to not do things alone. And it's this moment where she accepts Koko as an equal, that she does her part, something only she can do, something that maybe should be beneath her, but executed as only Agott Arklum, Kefri's top apprentice, could manage. And Agott finally casting this spell flawlessly is such a perfect moment. The commoners and even Koko have no idea how hard Agott's been working on this spell. They haven't seen the sleepless nights, her time in the studio. They just see this beautiful spell that resulted. But we know how much Agott sacrificed to make it happen. We saw the work. And that's kind of the real magic, isn't it? Agott making the distraction and trusting in Koko pays off, and they manage to save everybody. And then they're immediately arrested and detained by the witch police. The Knights Morales are here, and Aesthys will not stop beefing with children. Typical. Anyway. Thanks so much for checking out the video, I really appreciate it. If you've made it this far, was this the moment that Agott kind of clicked for you? What were your initial impressions of her? Leave a comment, leave a like, all that stuff. If you like this sort of content, I have many other Witch Hat Atelier videos and many more to come, so consider subscribing if you're into that. And finally, a big shout out to my patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members. It's because of you guys that I can make the steady climb to doing this full-time a reality, so if you like the channel and like the content and would like to support me, consider becoming a member over on Patreon. I have my entire first read of Witch Hat Atelier's manga on my Patreon, completely unedited, as 2-hour live streams, and I also have my reactions to the entire anime up until this point. So if you want to see all that, consider going over to the Patreon. Anyway, I have been Dom, this has been Agott, and until next time.